Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's lecture. First of all, topic name is rational numbers. First thing we study in rational numbers is about numbers. So what are numbers? Numbers are basically divided in two parts: real numbers shown by capital R and imaginary numbers. So this imaginary number is not in our course. We will be studying this in class 11th. Now, real numbers are the main that we deal with from childhood. Now, real numbers are divided into more parts. First one is rational number denoted by capital Q and irrational number like these numbers root 3, root 5. Okay, first let's understand what is a rational number. Rational numbers are the numbers which can be written in the form P upon Q, where q should not be equal to 0. Why? Because if q becomes 0, the number becomes not defined. How? Suppose you have a number 2 upon 0. Can you find the answer of this number? No, because it is not defined. If it was 0 upon 2, it was okay because 2 zeros are 0. So answer is 0 in this case. But in this case, it is not defined. That is why I told you that rational number is any number which can be written in the form P upon Q, where Q is not equal to 0. Also, P and Q are integers over here. So examples of rational numbers are simple: 1 upon 2, 3 upon 2, 7 upon 3, minus 2 upon 5, 6 upon 1. So all of these are rational numbers. In this, the above term is known as numerator and the below one is denominator. So 5 upon 1 is also a rational number, 0 upon 2 is also a rational number, but 2 upon 0 is not a rational number because it is not defined. Okay. Now, what are irrational numbers? We have seen two examples, under root 3 and under root 5. So how to define these? These numbers can't be written in the form P upon Q. So such numbers which can't be written in form P upon Q are known as irrational numbers. Okay. So we have seen some more examples. 5 upon 1 is also a rational number. So this is already done. Now, rational number can further be divided in more types, like we can divide rational number in integers and fractions. So what are integers? Integers we all know, the counting numbers normally that we have seen, but it is from minus infinity to plus infinity. The numbers like minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So you can see these numbers are normal numbers. These are not in decimals. If you write 2.1, 2.2, that will not come in integers. Okay. In integers, we use only simple numbers like these: minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. If you want to write a denominator in this case, you can write 2 upon 1. It is same as minus 2. If you write minus 1 upon 1, it is same as minus 1. 1 upon 1 is also 1 only. 2 upon 1 is 2 only. So these numbers are integers where q is 1 always. Okay. Fractions, q can be any number. Like if I say 2 upon 3, it is a fraction. 7 upon 3, it is a fraction. 2 upon 7, fraction. 5 upon 6, it is also a fraction. So you can now understand the difference between integers and fractions. In integers, the denominator is always 1, but in fractions, denominator can be 1, 2, 3, 4, any number. Okay. So finally, integers are divided in two parts: negative number and whole number. Negative numbers are the numbers which I told you, minus infinity to, suppose, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. So this complete set of negative numbers is this one. And the whole numbers which we have studied from childhood are starting from 0 and the positive integers like this, normal counting numbers. What are natural numbers? Natural numbers are whole numbers except 0. So when you start the counting with 1, it becomes natural numbers. What are even numbers? Numbers like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, they all are even numbers. Odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Okay, so you can see a pattern in even numbers. These numbers are a multiple of 2, or you can divide these numbers by 2 very easily. These numbers are not a multiple of 2. Okay, apart from natural number, even number and odd number, we have two more types known as prime number and composite number. This is a normal, what you say, revision of the concept that we have learned in the last classes. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are those numbers which are having only two factors. Factors are the numbers which can divide a number. Okay, so the two factors are 1 and the number itself. So you can say the first prime number is 2. Why? Because 2 can be divided by 1 and 2 only. Second prime number is 3. It can be divided by 1 and 3 only. Similarly, 5 is also a prime number. It can be divided by 5 and 5. If you take 7, it is also a prime number. It can be divided by 1 and 7. So you can see in all these numbers, the common thing is they all have only two factors. So they all are prime numbers, and the first prime number is 2. Okay. Second thing is, what are composite numbers? Composite numbers, as written over here, are the numbers having more than two factors. So let's see, the first composite number is 4. Why it is a composite number? Let's see. The first factor of 4 is 1, second factor is 2, and third factor is 4 itself. So you can see here we have how many factors? 3 factors. Similarly, if you have 6, it can be divided by 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have 4 factors for 6. Again, it is a composite number. So you can see the examples over here and understand the concept. Now I have written a note over here that 1 is neither prime nor composite. Why? Because 1 is having only one factor, that is 1. So it doesn't come in the category of prime or composite. It is a unique number. It is a unique number because it's having only one factor. I hope you got it. So finally, what we have done till now, numbers, the main type is rational number. Rational number are divided in two parts. Real numbers. This is real number. Real number is having two types, rational number and irrational number. In rational numbers, we have divided it in integers and fraction. Then in integer we have studied all the following these numbers. Okay, so whatever we have done till now is coming in integers only, and fractions are the numbers like 2 upon 6, this kind of numbers. Okay, now finally again the definition part, this we have done already, so you can just write the definition. Any number which can be written in the form p upon q, where q not equal to 0 and p and q are integers. What are integers? These are rational numbers, p upon q only, but the thing is here q is always 1. So you can say 5 is an integer, it can be written as 5 upon 1. 3 is an integer, 3 upon 1 is the same thing. 5, 6, 7, they all are integers. So what we have done is we have defined integers in terms of rational number, because rational numbers are p upon q. But if I fix this q as 1 always, it becomes a integer. Okay, but if q is not equal to 1, if q is 2, 3, 4, 5, it becomes a fraction, as we have seen in the last slide. Okay, for integer q should always be 1. Now some properties of rational numbers, as we have seen in the last classes. Properties are closure property, commutative property and associative property. Let's see the first one, closure property. Rational numbers are closed under addition. What does it mean? It means if you add one rational number with other rational number, you always get answer also a rational number. So it will never happen that you add two rational numbers and you get a irrational number. So whenever you add simple rational numbers, the answer will also a rational number. That is why we call it rational numbers are closed under addition. Okay. Now let's see. We can say if we add two rational numbers, then the answer is also a rational number. Like this example, 2 upon 3 plus 1 upon 3. How to add? We all know. We take LCM of the bottom, so it becomes 3, and we add the top. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 upon 3 is 1 only. 1 is also a rational number. It can be written as 1 upon 1. So you can see we have added two rational numbers and obtained a rational number as answer. That is why we call rational numbers are closed under addition. Now, property number B, rational numbers are closed under subtraction. Same thing as the last case. When we add two rational numbers, we get a rational number. In a similar way, if you subtract two rational numbers, you will get again a rational number as answer. Okay. Then third is rational numbers are closed under multiplication. Same thing. If you multiply two rational numbers, answer is also a rational number. How we multiply? We multiply the numerators, we multiply the denominators. So 2 ones are 2 and 3 threes are 9. You can observe this is also a rational number. So we can say rational numbers are closed under multiplication. Now D property is very much important because it is an exception. Rational numbers are not closed under division. Matlab, if you have a rational number, if you have two rational numbers, it is not important or it is not always true that their division will be a rational number. It may be true for some examples, but there are some examples in which this thing is not true. Let's see that example. First, let's see a normal example. Suppose you have 2 upon 3 divided by 5 upon 2. We all know what we do. We write first number as it is. We make the divide into multiplication and we take reciprocal of second term, that is 2 upon 5. Now you can see 2 2s are 4, 3 5s are 15. So again it is a rational number. So you must be saying, sir, why you have told us that it is not closed? It is coming as a rational number only. The thing is, there is one more example which is proving this thing as wrong. Let's see that example. Suppose you have a rational number 3 upon 5 divided by 0 upon 2. It is okay. This is a rational number. This is a rational number because here q is not 0. Here p is 0. So it is a rational number. No issue. Now we all know what to do. In division, we will make this first term same to same 3 upon 5. We will make the divide into multiplication and we take reciprocal of this. It becomes 2 upon 0. Now 3 2s are and 5 zeros are. It becomes 6 upon 0. What do you say? Is this 6 upon 0 a rational number? No. This is not a rational number because here q became 0. And I have told you, as soon as q becomes 0, the number is not defined. So here we have proved that if you take first rational number and second rational number like these, in that case answer obtained is not a rational number. That is why we have said this thing, that rational numbers are not closed under division. Okay, you can get same rational number or different rational numbers in division, but due to this case we can say this is not always true. That is why we have said they are not closed. Okay. Now second property, that is commutativity. What is commutativity? Very simple. Let's see. First of all, addition is commutative for rational numbers. What does this mean? That if you have two rational numbers, suppose a and b, so a plus b will be same as b plus a. It is very simple. Last classes you have done. Suppose you have a number 2 plus 3. It is equal to 5. Does the order has any effect on the answer? No. If I write like this, 3 plus 2, still the answer is 5. So that's why here also if you write 2 by 3 plus 5 by 3, answer is 7 by 3. But if you change the order, 5 by 3 plus 2 by 3, Again the answer is 7 by 3 only. So we can say addition is commutative for rational numbers. Okay. Now B part, subtraction. Subtraction is not commutative for rational numbers. Why it is not commutative? That means here the orders of numbers are important. If there are two numbers and in between them there is a subtraction sign, you can't change the order and say answer will remain same. Why? Let's see an example. Suppose I've taken the same example. First rational number is 2 upon 3, then a minus sign and 5 upon 3. Answer came in this case is 2 minus 5 upon 3, that is minus 3 upon 5. But if I change the order, if I put this 5 by 3 on the first place, then minus sign and 2 by 3 on second place, answer obtained is different. It is 3 upon 3. So above it was minus 3 upon 3, below it is 3 upon 3. So they both are not equal. So they are not equal. So we can say subtraction is not commutative. So you can't change the order in the case of subtraction. Here order is important. Okay. In the case of addition, order was not important. You can write the numbers in any way. Okay. Now multiplication, same thing we have studied. 2 into 3 is same as 3 into 2. So here also there is no effect of changing the order. So we can say multiplication is commutative for rational numbers. You can see the examples I have written over here. Just multiply them and you will find you get the same answer. You can pause the video and try this anytime. Okay. Division. We have seen division is not commutative for rational numbers. Why so? Let's see. Here also order is important. So if you have 2 upon 7 divided by 3 upon 2, let's see. What to do? This will remain same. 2 upon 7. This becomes multiply and this reciprocal, that is 2 upon 3. So what is the answer? 2 to the 4, 7 3 the 21. So this is the first answer. Now we will check by reversing the digits. So we will place this on the first place, this on second place. 3 by 2 divided by 2 upon 7. It becomes 3 by 2 multiplied with 7 upon 2. 3 7s are 21, 2 2s are 4. So you can see the answer obtained in this case and answer obtained in this case are different. Okay. That is why division is not commutative. Associativity. Addition. Addition is associative for rational numbers. What is addition? What is associative property? In this case we have three numbers at a time, A, B and C. So we have to see this position of bracket doesn't change the answer. If you put bracket on the last two terms and if you put the bracket on first two terms, still the answer will remain same. We all know the concept of bracket by the help of BODMAS. The concept says that bracket is solved first, then off, then division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. This is the sequence to be followed while solving an equation. You can see in the example shown over here, I have put bracket on second and third. So first these two will be solved. So 1 by 3 plus 5 plus 2 upon 3, answer came as 8 upon 3. In second example, I am taken the same numbers but putting brackets on first and second term. So solve this. We have got this 6 upon 3 plus 2 upon 3, answer is 8 upon 3. So you can see answer is same irrespective of the bracket position. Hence we call such things as associative. So addition is associative for rational numbers. In the case of subtraction, it is not associative. That means here if we change the position of brackets, answer will also change. So you can see in this case bracket is on second and third in this case on first and second. Answer obtained in the two cases we will see in the next will be different. Let's see. See, here the answer came as minus 2 by 3. Here the answer came as minus 6 upon 3. You can solve these on your own, or you can pause the video to see the solution. So we can say this associative property is not for subtraction. Similarly, multiplication, it is associative. You can take any example and you can check on your own. It is associative for multiplication. Then comes division, also not associative for rational numbers. So you can see the example here. By changing the position of brackets, answer coming is different. You can find this on your own and compare the answer. Answer would be different from this one. Okay. So today we have discussed these three properties: closure, commutativity, and associativity. You can go through your NCERT and just revise this one more time. Multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity of a rational number is that number which, when multiplied by given number, will give you the same number as answer. So if you have a as a number, what would you multiply in this number to get back answer as a? Very simple, you multiply it with 1. So suppose you have 3, what you will multiply in 3 to get back 3 as an answer? 1 only. So multiplicative identity is 1. I hope you got this. Similarly, in the last class we have studied about additive identity. What is an additive identity? Do you remember? Additive identity is that number which, if you add in the given number, you get the same number back. So can you tell me what number to be added in 3 to get back 3 as answer? Very simple, 0. So additive identity is 0 and multiplicative identity is 1. I hope you got this. Okay. Now comes multiplicative inverse. What is the multiplicative inverse? Of any rational number is that number which, if you multiply with given number, we get 1 as answer. So suppose you have 3 and you want to multiply something in this so that you get 1 as answer. This number will be your multiplicative inverse of 3. Very simple, if I multiply it with 1 upon 3, it becomes 1. So 1 upon 3 is multiplicative inverse of 3, or vice versa. Similarly, if I ask you what is multiplicative inverse of 5, you will say it is 1 upon 5. If I ask multiplicative inverse of 1 upon 3, you will say it is 3. If I ask multiplicative inverse of 2 upon 3, you will say, sir, it will be 3 upon 2. Why 3 upon 2? Because 3 ones are 3, 2 ones are 2, and we have got the answer as 1. So simple, you have to take reciprocal of the number, and that reciprocal will be known as multiplicative inverse of that number. So here I have written a. So if a number is a, suppose a variable, so its multiplicative inverse will be 1 upon a. Okay. These are some examples you can try. The last is distributive property. What is distributive property? Suppose you have a bracket b plus c. What does it mean? That you have to multiply a into b plus c. Simple it is. You have to multiply this a into b first, then a into c. So it's like this: a into b, then a plus sign will come, a into c. This is known as distributive property. Similarly, a into b minus c is a into b minus a into c, this way. So you can see one example over here: 2 by 3 into 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2. So what I have done is I have multiplied this 2 by 3 into 1 by 2, then 2 by 3 into 3 by 2, like this, and solved. One thing notice here, a into b into c, this is not coming under distributive property because in between sign is of multiplication, not of addition. Okay, so writing this is simply a into b into c. but if there is a sign of plus in between, we use distributive property like this. Okay, thank you.